Well, good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday here in Southeast Arkansas. Hope everyone's having a wonderful and blessed day. It's Mother's Day. Getting a little bit later start outside. We've been hanging out inside a little bit with my wife and the kids and all that. So I'm outside now and got a few projects to do today. First project on my list is, well, it's something I've been putting off, and it's something I should have already done. And it's also something I really haven't talked about a whole lot on the channel here. So I'm gonna get you over here and I'm gonna show you my fruit orchard. Well, I made it over to the corner where my fruit orchard is. I planted these this past winter as bare root plants. I planted them in, I guess it was January time frame, and everything is doing pretty good. This is one of my apple trees here. So I planted 9 fruit trees here. And then I got 3 blueberry bushes I planted and a couple of muscadine vines back here in the back. And everything seems to be doing pretty good. The problem I've got is the deer has been browsing on my trees, especially just a little bit. So what I need to do is get out here and put some cages on them. So I'm just going to use the same cages I use up on my tomatoes. And let me see if I can grab one here. These cages I actually bought from somebody. They put them on the Facebook Marketplace for sale as tomato cages. That's what they were using them for. And decided they didn't want a garden, so I bought these cages from them. And so they're a little bit irregular and not quite how I built them, but they work just fine. So I'm gonna put these on each plant, each tree. I've got, like I said, I've got the 9 trees, and that's what I'm gonna do for today. And then I'll sort of show you what I'm gonna do. First thing I'm gonna do before I put the cage around them is I've got some mulch. I'll put a little bit of mulch around the base of each tree, just to cover the ground, keep the grass from growing up inside the cage, because I won't be able to get to it to weed eat and mow anymore. And that'll also protect the tree and keep it from having competition with everything else growing around it. And like I said, it'll keep it cleaner too. So let me put this camera down and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. All right, so that's my first one. Trees are leaning just a little bit. I'll come back and probably put another stake down here pretty soon and try to straighten them a little bit. But for right now, this is gonna be good enough just to keep the deer off of them. Let them grow up a little bit. And this will keep the deer from browsing these tops like they do sometimes. So we live, you can see the woods around me. There are woods all the way around us. It's not unusual to come home to deer in the yard or in the neighborhood even. So we have to protect things against deer. You've seen my electric fence up there. It works most of the time, but every once in a while I get a deer that'll even slip in there. So this is not 100%, but it'll give the tree a pretty good chance to get a little bit taller and get it out of reach of the deer's mouth and snacking time for sure. In the springtime, they like that new growth, so they'll nip at that. But come late summer, before the acorns start to drop, they'll really hit a fruit tree hard around here when there's not as much fresh green around. So you got to make sure you get them protected. Like I said, I should have done this when I planted them, but I didn't. It's been really wet out here. I just didn't get it done. So do it today. And so what I'm gonna do, you see here I got my cage, here's the tree, and then I got this little fiberglass stake just to hold the cage keep it from falling over in the wind. So I'll come back with a zip tie and just tie this to the stake, and that should be good enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around and do the exact same thing to all 9 of these trees, and I'll come back and sort of show you around the orchard. Thanks. All right, let me show you real quickly how to build one of those cages. Again, it's pretty simple. Just go buy your roll of wire, 100 foot. If you need 20 cages, buy 100 foot of wire. Like I said, some kind of woven wire, like that 2x4 wire, or even some of this field fence here works well. But cut it, like I said, cut it about 5 foot in lengths, and then leave one side solid like this, and the other side cut the ends. All right, where it cut the splice, cut it at the splice. That way you have a tag end of wire. And all you got to do, get it over where you can see it, pull it together, and then just wrap it in. And then what I do to keep it from sinking or going up is I wrap it alternating like this. So I've got one tag end that went below and one tag end that went above, and they do that for the entire strand, and you've got you a nice size basket cage to go around tomatoes, fruit trees like I just did. This is a real simple cage, and some people like a concrete wire, reinforcing wire. That works well too. It's just whatever you can get. I like this old field fence. It holds up well, and not real expensive either. So again, if you're looking to make your own cages, this is how I do it, and it's really worked well for me. All right, well, that little project is done. Got cages around all 9 of my fruit trees. Got mulch down at the base. I did go ahead, and I'll show a clip of it. I did just run a little strand of twine around each stake and then to the tree, just to start pulling it up a little bit. That twine's not going to hold for long. It's also, I don't feel like that twine will cut into the trees either as they grow. I left plenty of slack in my loop, so that way we'll go ahead and start straightening them out a little bit, and then I can put a little bit heavier stake in there if I need to in the future. So hopefully that will keep the deer off of them. And I got more projects coming up in the orchard, and I'll make sure to show you here in the future, and also talk about some future plans I got over there too. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please leave me a comment. There's a lot of great resources on fruit trees and fruit orchards on YouTube. Texas Prepper 2, he's got a lot of information about berries and fruit trees. If you want to check him out, I've learned quite a bit from his channel. There's some others out there. I ordered these trees from the Wildlife Group. Just Google that. They're out of Alabama. Again, I bought those as bare root. They ship them to you in a box, and you just plant them in the wintertime, and then they start hopefully they start budding out in the spring. So that's what they've done. And like I said, it's really best if you can cage them or protect them from deer and that type of thing when you plant them, if you're working on that kind of thing. I appreciate y'all watching this one. Leave me a comment if you stop by, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Goodbye.